Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Shudder Slaughterhouse. I'm Daniel. I got a huge episode tonight for you guys, like jam-packed. I know, past few weeks it's just been like one episode or one movie recommendation or whatever review each week. I got like six. I got six, and they're massive. So let's just jump right into things. We're going to kick things off with One Missed Call. That's 2003. It's a Japanese film. For those of you who don't know what One Missed Call is, basically these people start getting these phone calls, voice messages from themselves in the future, and kind of warns of their death. You know, it gives them kind of a premonition or a look. You know, it foretells their demise coming up. I saw this movie a long time ago actually, and I really loved it. I didn't know anything about it going into it. All I knew was that at some point they was going to make an American remake, which was in '08. The less said about that, the better. But I had a friend of mine I worked with at the theater, and she was getting rid of some DVDs, and she had this like big, it's like a nice 2-3 disc box set of One Missed Call. Just the movie itself, it just had bonus features on the air disc or whatever. And anyways, she hooked me up with it. And I watched it, and I just fell in love with it. I don't know, it's creepy, it's dark, really good storyline. Although it does kind of feel like, I don't know, two movies in one, I guess. Like the first part's kind of like this whole phone curse thing, but then after that, it's more about the investigation, I guess, or trying to uncover the curse. So I don't know, it does kind of have this uneven tone, where it's like one half movie, second half. But I don't know. I really liked it. It's kind of odd because I didn't really know what the horror community thought about this. I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about it. When I looked up some reviews, I was kind of shocked to see that this isn't really a fan favorite. Like a lot of people, even though the Shudder community, they gave it kind of a high ranking. Typically, people just kind of dismissed it as just another generic J-horror film, which is telling because, like I said, it's ironic because its remake would kill the J-horror remake boom here in the U.S. So I thought that was kind of a nice little touch there. But I really liked it. I highly recommend it. It is subtitled, so for those who don't like subtitles, I think my DVD may actually be dubbed actually, which I don't know. I just noticed now I prefer subtitles over dub because if the voices are off, I don't like the original. Let the Right One In. That's it. I don't like it. I know everybody prefers the Norwegian version to the American. I like the American version better. But the one thing that really killed the Norwegian one, because I see it second for one, so that may have something to do with it. I saw the remake first, but the remake, the voices that were dubbed over, and I should have watched the subtitle version, but I didn't. I watched the dubbed, and the boy that plays Oscar, his voice was ridiculous. I don't know. Anyways, One Missed Call. Sorry, went in the weeds a little bit there. Got off track. One Missed Call, really good stuff. I love that closing credits song. Actually, it's sang by the lead girl. She's apparently a pop star over there as well, who also acts. So, really loved, the closing song. Just overall, good movie. I don't know. I liked it. People here at Shudder, or the Shudder community, gave it 4 out of 5 skulls, and I'm going to agree with that. It's a high 4 out of 5. It was almost a 5 out of 5. I will say the second time watching it, there are some things you're just kind of about, but overall, very solid. Very solid. Up next, Channel Zero. This is a TV series out of Canada. It began in 2016, ran for 4 seasons. They're based on the creepypasta website Stories. The 4 stories is Candle Cove, the No End House, Butcher's Block, and the Dream Door. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with the creepypasta stuff. I kind of missed that whole thing. I was already in my mid-20s when that thing became very popular, the Slender Man and Jeff the Killer and all that stuff, and I just, just wasn't my thing. However, I heard, some of them, and, like, oh yeah, they were making a movie about those, I like that. And so it's kind of cool that they did a TV series about this. The first season, ironically, I rank it 3rd. I love, the opening, it's so Lynchian, it feels like a David Lynch thing. It really does. It's just so bizarre and out there. And I love, the story of Candle Cove, this kid show that broadcast, no one knows where it came from or where the origins of it is. I don't know. I had a video, even a Cronenberg had a Videodrome kind of thing to it. But the teeth monster thing, that thing is fucking unsettling as hell. I don't know, that thing's creepy. And I will say that's the thing about all these, is they all have good premises. The ending, they're not bad endings, but it is almost like the mystery is so much better. Like the journey is so much better than the destination on all these. I feel like they always build up really good intrigue, and then when it gets to the end, you're just kind of like, all right. I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm just saying for the most part, I'm just kind of like, sorry. So yeah, Count Cope, good stuff. The next one was No In House. That's probably my favorite. I just love the idea of a haunted house that just, it's like an interdimensional portal, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. But yeah, really, really cool stuff right there. I love the story. I love John Carroll Lynch, the actor who plays the girl's dad. I thought he did an incredible job. And I thought overall it was a better story. I don't know, it was my favorite of the four. Up next was the Butcher's Block. And the interesting thing about that was, one night when I'm watching The Last Drive-In, they showed Cannibal Holocaust. And at the end of that, you know, I'm always live tweeting. I'll get to that here in a minute because that's another show I'm going to talk about. I'm always live tweeting, and so I just kind of saying my goodbyes for the night and just kind of doing my final review of, you know, the episode and everything. And the next show came on. It winds up being this the first episode of Butcher's Block, or sorry, Channel Zero Butcher's Block. And I've never seen it, done anything about it. I didn't even read what it was. It came on Shudder TV, and so as I'm listening to it, I can hear the theme to Cannibal Holocaust. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. And I start watching it, and I watched like the first, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes of Butcher's Block, and I loved it. I thought it was incredible. The staircase to nowhere, this little dwarf in a red, you know, cloak attacking people. I don't know. I was just drawn in. Like, this is brilliant. And so, anyways, if I watched that, that's my number two. Thought it was just flat out awesome. Rutger Hauer, I think you pronounce his name. I can never pronounce it. I'm horrible with names. I thought he was really cool in this. I love the story. I thought, you know, and I love the ending. This was the one of the few that I loved the ending. It had a good emotional core to it, and I just kind of like, it's bittersweet, but all the people who do kind of survive, they all kind of come from like broken families in a way, or like, you know, there's something wrong with each of their family, but they kind of come together and form their own family at the end. I thought that was kind of sweet. But everything else, I mean, yeah, it's just solid. I don't know, that may be my number one, actually. I really like Butcher's Block. It's a toss-up, Butcher's Block and the No End House. Anyways, hope no one's getting like epilepsy from seeing this weird seizure shit back here. Sorry, it's flashing a lot. Anyways, and then the last one was The Dream Door, which honestly, my least favorite. And I think the concept's really cool. I like the story. I just didn't like any of the characters. Like, I just found both leads just annoying. I don't know. I didn't like them. Like, they're both just scummy liars that just whine the entire fucking show. And I was just like, whole time I was like, break up with each other. Like, seriously, I don't give a fuck. But I like Pretzel Jack. That's cool as shit. And then the finale, I will say the last episode is really awesome. I love, without giving too much away, I guess, I love all the different monsters that came out of this door from this one person. I thought it was really cool. So yeah, overall, Channel Zero, huge thumbs up. Sad to see that it got canceled. I don't know. I'm not sure what the reason was. I looked up on Wikipedia, I couldn't find a definitive reason. All I can think of is maybe the ratings were getting a little low. Who knows? I just felt like there's so much more you could have went with this, and I don't know. I loved it. I love the anthology aspect. Like, I like shows like that, like American Horror Story, where it's like every season is just a reset button. We do a different story. I like that. So anyways, people on Shudder, the Shudder community gave it 5 out of 5 skulls. I'm going to fucking agree. 5 out of 5 skulls, absolutely. Up next, we're talking about The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. Can't believe it took me this long to talk about this. It started back in 2018. This is a Shudder original. And, I mean, come on. It's fucking Joe Bob Briggs. Motherfucker's back. He's been back. He's reviewing movies. He's giving you all these crazy stories about the movies, behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. And he has a great film. And, you know, that's the reason I bought Shudder. That was the only reason I bought Shudder. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad I did, because since then I found a lot of cool stuff on Shudder. But that was the reason. Like, that was what brought me in, and I don't know. I love it. I was a kid back in the day when Monster Vision was on. I never saw like the early seasons of Monster Vision with Penn and Teller, but I remember watching Joe Bob on Monster Vision, and it was just like, that was my Saturday night every fucking weekend. And I think it's really why I'm the big movie nerd I am now. Just listening to him talk movies in between breaks. It was one of those few things where like you were looking forward to commercial break because you knew you was gonna get the wraparound story with him talking, and so it's just like I don't know. It's one of those few times where it's just like as a kid I never would thought I would want the intermissions or whatever, but that's what you're looking forward to. The movie's almost secondary to just hearing him talk. It's brilliant. With this new show. You got Darcy the Male Girl, who's probably my favorite male girl of all, the three that we've had, or the two we had previously before there. I think of the three, she's the best. And I think what's different about this show, this time around, is the element of live tweeting. Like, once again, I'm a 90s kid. We didn't have live tweeting back in the day. I didn't watch I wish we would have. That would have been fucking awesome. And I never would have thought I would have liked to live tweet. And then, like I said, I'm noticing that, they're just like, hey, keep in touch with Darcy the Male Girl, she'll be answering your questions and your tweets and blah, blah, blah. And when I got on there, it was just like the world was huge. The mutant family, it's incredible. Just for the whole horror community to get together and watch this every Friday night, it's fucking fantastic. And I never thought I'd like that, but it does add a different element to it. I never thought, that it was there. So it's really cool getting together with, fellow horror fans online and just talking the movie. It's great. It's fucking great. I don't know what to say about this. I will say I recommend you guys watch it live Friday nights. Do the live tweet, all that stuff, because A, you get more people watching it then. It's just, I don't know, it's more of a communal thing. But B, these movies don't last forever. And that's the thing I really regretted was I didn't get Shudder until like last year. And right before season 2 actually is when I got it. I think. Anyways, but when I got it, I went back to try to watch the original marathon and then season 1, and of course, it pained me to see that a lot of them were already gone. Like they took them off, the Shudder, and it's just because film licenses run out or whatever the case is, and so it is a little depressing. I'm like, fuck. So there's a handful of those movies I haven't seen yet, but I'm hoping, that someday they'll pick it back up and I'll be able to, watch them and whatever. The Shudder community gave this 5 out of 5, and I totally agree. 5 out of 5, and this is my pick of the week. Like, I always pick my pick of the week, and this is it. If you haven't had a chance to go back and watch all these episodes, do it. Do it. The only thing I haven't seen yet, and I didn't know it even existed until I went back and was just kind of combing through to see, previous episodes and whatever, was, I guess Joe Bob did commentary for Cannibal Holocaust. And so I was like, yeah, I definitely need to see that. I watched it the night they showed it, but I didn't see it with his commentary, so gotta check that out. And I'll just point out one episode and then I'll move on. I'm sorry, I don't want to just keep dwelling on the last drive-in, but the episode that they showed the double feature of Trauma's War and a Cut of the Dead. One Cut of the Dead, sorry. Favorite episode. That night, the crowd, the live crowd was just on fire. I made a lot of friends through that one night alone. I don't know why. It was just like, I don't know. Trauma's War was just great to watch, a hoot to watch, and it was just like the crowd was loving it, eating it up. And then that was the night that Joe Bob dropped his, infamous, keep rolling speech, which got me so, I was choked up after I heard him say that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I was. And it was just like, holy shit. I don't know. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. I don't know. It's brilliant. Check it out. Moving on now, we're going to go to The Room. Thomas, no, not that word. 2019. This is a French film, even though it's English language and everything. They make it appear like it's in America. But anyways, the basic premise here is this couple buy this farmhouse, this house out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they discover that there's a room inside that when you wish for things, you get it. Boom, there it is. But the one thing that they really want more than anything else, they want a kid, because the wife in this couple has miscarried twice before, and so the one thing she's really wanting is to have a kid, and that's the whole thing here. This movie, I kind of went back and forth on, because I felt like a lot of it was so predictable, but at the same time, I love the concept. I love how dark it gets. I don't know. Kind of, now I'm thinking about it, kind of does remind me of No End House in a way, in a certain sense, but it is one of those things, like I said, it's a really cool concept, and I think it plays out pretty well. Like I said, I don't know. I had a certain expectation in my head, and I was hearing everybody talk about it, and then when I finally got around to watching, I've actually watched this a while back ago. I didn't watch it just over a week. This has actually been on, on the back burner for a while. I don't know. it's not bad. Like I said, I think my main problem was it just felt too predictable. Like a lot of stuff, and it's a very crazy, outlandish story movie. But it's just like I don't know. The whole time I was constantly like one step ahead of it, even if it's twists and everything. I don't know why. I was just kind of like, yeah, that's where they're gonna go with this. Obviously, it's like, yep, that's where they went. It's like, okay, well, it's probably going to go this way. Yep, it went that way. It's probably going to end like this, and it ends like that. Like I said, I feel like I need to rewatch it one more time because I mean, once again, it's a good movie. I just felt like the first time I watched it, it really was kind of like, yep, I know where we're going. It's not a cliched story. That's the thing. Like it's an original fucking concept. But it's just like for some reason I don't know. The Shudder community gave it 4 out of 5 skulls. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5. It's a high 3, but 3 out of 5 nonetheless. Up next, it is Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, and this came out in 2019. This is a Shudder exclusive. This was the documentary about kind of like insight look into Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, but also kind of talking about the lead actor in that, Mark Patton, and this is I'm using their words. This isn't this ain't my views. But Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 has always been called the gayest nightmare movie, and it got a lot of heat for a lot of years. A lot of people just didn't like it, and it kind of goes into that. And because what happened is the actor Mark Patton just disappeared, and anyways, kind of years now we're kind of in a more open society. It's gotten a lot of fans. It became kind of a cult hit. And became a very, they call it the first mainstream gay horror film. And so anyway, they kind of take on this, new life and everything. And so the documentary was really insightful and stuff like that. Like I said, I'll be honest with you, I do not like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And even after seeing this documentary thinking like maybe it might sway me, no, I just never liked it. And it had nothing to do with really the, homoerotic undertones or whatever you want to call it. It was, for me, the movie just felt different. One of my big pet peeves about that was one of my favorite scenes of the movie, though, and it is like one of my favorite scenes of the series, is when Freddy butchers everybody at the pool party. I think that's a fucking awesome scene. The problem with it is like, they pull Freddy into the real world, and then, like, he doesn't go back, and they just kind of gloss over that when Part 3 rolls around. They're like, oh, no, he was never out in the real world. We're back in Dream World. It's just like, what? I don't know. I didn't like that. I was never big on that, and I don't care what the reason is or how you try to make that fit. I don't like it. And I just feel like the whole movie is kind of like that. And then I will admit, and it doesn't matter necessarily sexual orientation. It is kind of a gender thing, though. It's just like, I don't know, a dude you haven't run around screaming. I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was in any horror movie situation, I'd be screaming like a girl. But I promise you, throw me in a shark movie, I'm crying and blubbering and screaming like a girl and doing a little pop dance like Mark Patton does. But no, I would be the exact same way. But I don't watch movies, that I'd be in, because clearly I'd be a shitty lead. I'm sorry, he was a shitty lead. I was just not a fan. I didn't like the character. It had nothing to do with the actor at all. And I think that's one thing I really, I think people should really separate is the actor from the character. Obviously, it was really insightful. You see what happened with Mark Patton, because I didn't know any of the stuff about this guy at all. And so it's cool to see though, like, and he explains it best towards the end where he's talking about how, like, he's like, God gave me everything I wanted and he took it all away, but then he gave it back to me in the end. And it's just cool to see he's kind of rebounded and now he's a regular on the horror conventions, and hear the stories, I guess, of the gay men who watched this when they were younger, feeling kind of lost and isolated and didn't really had no one to really identify with on the big screen, and then to kind of have their own, for lack of a better term, their own scream queen to get behind. It's really cool. I really like that, and so I once again, the documentary's pretty cool. I just personally still don't like Part 2, but it had nothing to do with anything homophobia or like that. I just thought it was a bad movie. The Shudder community gave this 4 out of 5, and I'm giving it 3 out of 5. It's a good watch. Definitely check it out. And finally, we're gonna watch The Dark and the Wicked 2020. This was a Shudder exclusive. Okay. The basic premise here is just, Anytown, USA, fucking Texas farmhouse. This man is dying, and his family's there to console him. However, there are evil forces trying to take him down. So this is from the director of The Strangers, and I'll be honest with you, I did not like The Strangers. I know that's a favorite amongst the horror community. I personally did not like The Strangers. I just didn't like the characters. I thought the movie was just boring more than anything else. I don't know. The characters are creepy as fuck, and I mean the concept is scary, but just the story itself, the movie plays out just and it's just like, fuck, do something. It does have Dennis Reynolds in it, so I like that. But anyways, so when they're like, when that's like the big selling point, like when I'm watching like the trailer and then seeing on the poster and everything, they're like, from the director of The Stranger, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And yeah, it didn't help this at all. And once it even has the same look. Like, I don't know if you use like the same cinematographer or not, or same production designers, but like it had the same like Strangers look to it. Now the story itself is obviously supernatural. It's just one of those things where I never get excited about supernatural horror because it's all very cliche to me. I've seen it before. They don't ever do anything too new. It's rare for me to be like, oh hey, another haunted house movie, or oh hey, another demon possession movie. It's just like, it's my least favorite genre, and honestly, it's been done to death. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still occasions where something will pop out of left field, like The Conjuring, or Sinister, or Insidious, and just, holy shit, they took it a different direction. Recently is Satan's Slaves, the Thai horror film. But this one, I don't know, it was just so predictable and generic and boring. And then on top of that is, when you're doing these kind of movies, stick with practical effects. There was nothing in this movie that could not have been done with practical effects, and yet we get CGI and bad-looking CGI throughout. And it's like, come on, really? And the only thing, I won't give anything else away, the only thing I will say, because fuck them, was the poster is really cool looking. It's a, dark house and shadows and a dead tree, and it's, it's all red. The dark and the wicked. You see this woman floating above, hovering above the house. I'm like, I can't wait for that scene. That's going to be an awesome scene. That's going to be cool. It never fucking happens. Yeah, I don't know. Now, when I first watched it, I will say this. There are some good, genuine jump scares. I do think they do over it a little too much. Like, they have no substance to them. Like, I hate most fake jump scares if they're accompanied by ridiculous loud noise. In fact, when the trailer or when the movie starts off, you get this kind of opening, and then when it cuts to the title credit, it just makes this loud noise. I'm just like, really? Alright, we're in for that kind of movie, aren't we? And sure enough, every little thing has a ridiculous loud jump scare. And don't be wrong, and yeah, it will work sometime. I'm like, oh shit. But the movie's kind of dulled where you're not afraid. Like, at least with Insidious, when I jump there, I'm just like, I don't want to look at the screen. There's going to be something scary popping out. Fuck! Don't go in there. Oh shit, something scary, and I jump legitimately. Whereas with this one, it was just like, oh, okay, you got me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, another loud noise, shit, okay. And I felt like that was a lot of this. And then I hate fake jump scares of the variety where it's like, we the audience are being scared, but the person on the screen's not. And I'm just going to throw out a generic example. I'm not giving anything away in this movie, but like, whenever like, the person kind of like walks in the frame or looking around the dark room, and then the demon pops up behind him, and it's a loud jump scare, and the audience is like, oh my god, demon. But then the person doesn't see it on the screen, so they're just kind of like, and they turn around, there's nothing there. It's like, I'm sorry, your jump scares should be conveyed through your lead actor that we are identifying with, so we can feel what the character's feeling. If we're scared for shit that's not even there and they don't even know, it's like, what's the fucking point there? I don't know. It had a couple cool moments, but overall, much like The Strangers, it's just, wasn't big on it. I'm going to give it a 3 out. I'm sorry, the Shudder community gave it 4 out of 5. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I think it looks good. I think, there are a couple effective scares, and I feel like giving it 2 out of 5 would just be me shitting on it. However, just note, this is a low 3 out of 5. Like, seriously. And there's just certain things that were just like, I don't know. it was just like, I get it. You know, horror movies got a horror movie. We gotta have reasons to stick around or do this or do that. But that was just stupid. They're just like, let's take Dad to the hospital. No, let's call a doctor first so he can give us some ridiculous kind of news where we can't take him out. Really? You could have just took him out in the first place. Why? Why go through that? And then when shit starts hitting the fan, they're like, we should just take him to the hospital. And he's like, no, I'll call another doctor. It's just like, shut the fuck up. It's stupid. You're just stupid at this point. I don't know. I just... The characters were annoying. The story was badly written. I want to give it 2 out of 5. I won't be a prick. We'll stay 3 out of 5. I don't know. So anyways, there you have it. There's my rundown of what I've been watching over the past couple of weeks. Once again, The Last Drive-In is my pick of the week. Check it out, please. And don't just check it out. Watch everything. Watch the specials. I mean, that's what I did for like the first 3 months after getting Shudder. Was just me binge watching the marathon, and then every holiday special they had, and every season just bam, 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 bam. And now, like I said, I tune in every Friday night when it comes on. New season coming out in April. Can't fucking wait. And yeah, I'm just fucking pumped for it. So yeah, check it out. That's all I got, guys. If you've seen any of these and want to share, your thoughts on them, drop it in the comment section down below. Connect. That's what's great about, Shudder and Twitter and just everything now. I feel like, that's the great thing about the horror community now is there's so many more ways you can connect with other horror fans. Like, I was a fucking kid from small town Bedford, Indiana. Guess what? There was no other horror fans. Like, literally, I go to school, I'm an outcast. There was no one to connect to until you went, Friday night to the video store and you're perusing that horror section. You see another person perusing as well, and you can kind of talk shop for a second. And that was it. That was like our Twitter back in the day. So, I don't know. It's an amazing time we live in. I think people take it for granted. This generation just doesn't quite understand what it was like back in the old days. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that definitely makes The Last Drive-In just that much more special. But anyways, enough about that. That's all I got this week. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time.